Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, so if you're like our learner persona, you know the deal. So much information, right? You need the key insights, but who has time to sift through everything?
Exactly. And that's our job. We take that fire hose, this time it's AppFolio's Q3 2025 earnings call, and pull out what really matters for you.
And today, it's not just about the quarterly numbers, though. We'll touch on those. We're really digging into the CEO, Shane Trigg's, opening remarks. He laid out a whole vision.
Yeah, a really significant strategic vision for, the future of real estate tech. It's more about transformation, I think, than just transactions.
That's the perfect way to put it. So our mission today, let's unpack this thing they're calling Real Estate Performance Management, RPM.
RPM, right. And tied to that, this new AI native architecture they've built, we need to understand how that actually makes the RPM vision, well, real.
Okay. But before we jump into the big strategic pivot, let's quickly set the stage. Because, they're not doing this from a position of weakness, are they?
No, not at all. The Q3 2025 results were actually quite strong. Solid foundation.
Okay, give us the highlights.
Sure. Revenue was $249 million. That's up 21% year over year. Pretty healthy growth.
21%. Nice. And the unit count?
Hit 9.1 million units under management. So scale is definitely there.
And profitability. What about margins?
The point. The non-GAAP operating margin was 23.5%. So, stripping out some accounting stuff, the core business is throwing off good cash. Very profitable.
Right. So solid numbers. But like you said, Trigg didn't really dwell on Q3 glory, did he?
No, he pivoted almost immediately, straight into what he sees as this huge industry problem. He calls it the performance gap.
The performance gap. Okay, what's the idea there?
Well, it's this collision, basically. You've got all these external market pressures, rising rates, labor issues, higher resident expectations.
Which means we hear about constantly. Yeah.
Right. And those are hitting up against these internal inefficiencies in how property management businesses actually operate. The old ways just aren't cutting it anymore.
So how do companies typically respond, according to Trigg?
They tend to grab point solutions, right?
Mm.
Task-based tech for specific problems. But it's all fragmented. It doesn't fix the underlying issue.
Okay. And this is where that study they did comes in, the one with the NAA.
Yes, the National Apartment Association partnership. And this data, honestly, it kind of lands like a punch. It shows why companies are struggling, even with decent numbers sometimes.
Okay, lay it on us. What did it find?
It's pretty stunning.
Yeah.
The headline is, property management businesses spend 2/3 of their time, 66% basically just keeping the lights on, treading water.
Whoa, 2/3. How did that break down?
Okay, so 42% of their time is just on routine, basic work, the day-to-day grind.
Standard stuff.
And then another 24% is spent purely on reactive tasks, fixing things that break, dealing with crises, putting out fires.
42 plus 24. Yeah, that's 66%. Wow. I bet if you're listening and you manage property, that number just feels painfully real.
Totally. 2 out of every 3 hours just consumed by things that don't really move the needle strategically. It's a massive drag.
So what's left for, actually growing the business?
Exactly. The data showed only 16% of time goes to strategic work planning, optimizing performance, and just 17% on stakeholder engagement, talking to residents, owners, investors.
16% for strategy. That's not a lot of bandwidth left when 66% is just keeping things running.
Precisely. So the implication is clear. You can't tackle those big market pressures or really innovate if you're spending 2/3 of your effort just reacting.
So the focus on just being efficient with tasks and using all these separate tools, it's actually making the problem worse, widening that performance gap.
That's the argument. It's widening the gap between what needs to be done strategically and what can actually get done operationally. And the answer, according to Trigg, is this wholesale shift to real estate performance management, RPM.
Okay, so RPM, define that for us. It's more than just a new buzzword.
He presented it as a necessary conceptual shift, moving away from that reactive firefighting mode towards proactive performance, building what he called a value ecosystem.
A value ecosystem, meaning?
Where everyone involved, the managers, residents, investors, owners, even vendors, actually thrives because the focus is on delivering value and performance, not just managing tasks.
Okay, that makes sense conceptually, but how do you actually do that? What's the engine?
The engine is a completely re-architected platform built on what they call an AI native architecture.
AI native. We hear AI everywhere. What makes this native?
It means AI isn't just bolted on. It's fundamental to how the system operates. It's woven into the core, informing decisions, automating actions, not just an add-on feature.
That distinction feels important. So how is this AI native platform structured?
He broke it down into 3 core interconnected systems. You can think of them maybe like different departments in a really smart modern company.
Okay, let's try that analogy. What's the first system?
The first is the system of record. This is your foundation, the single source of truth for all your data, your operations, your stakeholders, residents, owners, everyone.
Got it. Like the company's central database and rulebook. If the data isn't clean and reliable here, nothing else works properly, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Garbage in, garbage out still applies. But data alone doesn't drive performance. That's where the second system comes in,
Which
a
is?
system of action. This is where the platform starts, well, doing things. It uses what AppFolio specifically calls agentic AI.
Okay, hold on. Agentic AI. Let's unpack that for the listener. How is that different from the automation we've had for years? The if this, then that rules.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So traditional automation is mostly script-based. You tell it, if X happens, do Y. Simple rules.
Right. If a lease is expiring, send a reminder email.
Exactly. Agentic AI, though, is goal-driven. You give it an objective like, resolve this residence maintenance issue quickly, cost-effectively, and make sure they're happy.
Okay, so it figures out the how itself.
Yes. The AI agent manages the complex steps, maybe triaging the issue, finding and scheduling the right vendor, communicating updates to the resident, closing the loop all autonomously, using context to optimize for that desired outcome. It acts like an intelligent assistant for the manager.
Got it. From following instructions to achieving goals, that's a big leap. So what's the third system?
The third is the system of growth. This is designed to leverage the efficiency gained from the other 2 systems. It finds ways to unlock new revenue streams, often by offering value-added services to residents and investors, all within that single platform experience.
Okay, record, action, growth. Makes sense. And is the industry buying into this vision?
Well, Trigg included a quote that suggests they are. Wolfgang Kroski from Kroski Real Estate. He basically said owners are demanding more strategic performance, which means moving beyond fragmented tools towards these smarter unified platforms.
Okay, so that sets the stage for the strategy itself. Trigg laid out 3 pillars. The first one was differentiate to win. What's the focus here?
This really leans heavily on that system of action in the agentic AI. Trigg's point was that future innovation isn't just about better tools for people to use. It's about systems that actually do the work with people, or even for them.
Doing the work. Okay. And how are they making that concrete?
The big announcement here was the launch of RealmX Performers. This is the latest piece of their embedded AI suite, RealmX. And these performers are those agentic, goal-driven AI systems we just talked about.
So these performers are the AI agents doing specific jobs. What jobs are they starting with?
They launched 3 initial ones. There's a leasing performer automating lead to lease, a maintenance performer handling the triage and resolution workflow, and a resident messenger performer automating complex communications.
So directly targeting those big chunks of time identified in the NWA, study the routine and reactive stuff.
Precisely. It's a direct assault on that 66%.
And how do we know this is, actually working? That it's more than just clever software branding? Are there results?
Yeah, and this is crucial for you, the learner. They shared some really tangible outcomes from customers who have fully adopted RealmX.
Okay, give us the numbers.
They're filling vacancies more than 5 days faster.
5 days faster. Significant.
Renewal rates are increasing by 20%.
20% jump in renewals. Wow.
Net operating income NOI, the key profitability metric, is almost 3% higher.
Okay, faster leasing, higher retention, better profits. That's compelling. But what about that time drain we talked about?
That's the kicker. An average of 10 hours per week saved on completing those repetitive administrative tasks.
10 hours a week back, that's more than a full workday. That directly addresses the performance gap issue.
It's huge. And I had a customer, quote, reinforcing this, Rob Gale from Dream Live Prosper Communities. He basically said AI doesn't work if it's separated. It needs to be in one integrated workflow, and that's AppFolio's edge. It tackles that fragmentation problem directly.
Makes sense. The AI needs the clean data from the system of record and the unified workflow to actually perform.
Exactly. And speaking of the system of record, Trigg also mentioned they're continuing to enhance that foundation too. It's not just about the flashy AI.
What kind of enhancements?
Things like more flexible accounting options, more granular user permissions. Crucially, enabling better management of complex, mixed portfolios.
Mixed portfolios. Like what?
Think student housing. which need specific things like automated roommate pairing, or affordable housing managing the complex compliance for HUD or LIHTC properties.
Ah, okay. So making the core system robust enough for really diverse property types, that broadens their market, presumably.
For sure. And they're also connecting it externally. He mentioned their Stack marketplace for integrations and called out a new partnership with Procore.
Procore, that's construction management software, right?
Yeah. So for customers who develop and manage properties, they can now automatically sync project financials between Procore and AppFolio, tying development costs right into operational management.
Okay, so pillar one is about efficiency and differentiation through AI and a strong core system, saving that crucial time. What's pillar two?
Pillar 2 is deliver performance efficiently. This one focuses more on the system of growth and really capitalizing on the resident relationship,
How so?
primarily through Folio Space, which is their name for the next-gen resident experience portal. And they zeroed in on a really high-leverage moment: resident onboarding, move in.
Move-in day. Always stressful. What's the data say there?
Get this. 3/4 of residents report having challenges during move-in. It's often a friction point.
I believe it. But why focus so much energy there?
Because here's the insight. A positive move-in experience correlates with a 76% increase in the residents' overall satisfaction with their property manager.
76%. Okay, so if you nail the move-in, you basically win their loyalty long-term.
That's the idea. It's a huge trust-building opportunity. So AppFolio redesigned it, turned it from this painful checklist into a simple, guided digital workflow.
Covering what?
All the key stuff: sign the lease, setting up payments, verifying insurance, getting utilities connected. Smooth for the resident and way fewer headaches and follow-up calls for the management team.
That makes sense. Streamlining a known pain point. Anything else on onboarding?
Yeah, they launched something called Resident Onboarding Lift. This was co-created with a partner, Second Nature.
Yeah, what does that do?
It focuses on delivering value-added services right at move-in. Things residents actually want, like credit building programs, maybe discounted group internet rates, pest control services. It turns that transactional move-in moment into an immediate value deliverer.
Interesting. So offering optional services seamlessly during onboarding.
Right. And they had a quote from Tommy Perfect at Uplift Property Management saying, "This takes the customer experience to the next level, giving residents valuable choices while keeping things simple for the manager."
Okay, so pillar one saves time with AI. Pillar two uses that efficiency to boost the resident experience, particularly at onboarding. What was the third pillar?
The third was brief, more foundational. Great people and culture. Not a product thing, but, enabling the strategy.
Right, you need the team to execute. What did he mention?
Just briefly noted, they were recognized on 2 Fortune lists,
Yeah.
the Future 50 and Best Workplaces in Technology, standard earnings call stuff.
Okay. But there was another piece of validation that seemed pretty significant.
Yeah, this felt more telling. Their customer, Real Property Management RPM, coincidentally, which has over 350 franchisees using the platform, voted AppFolio their vendor of the year.
Voted by the actual daily users. That's a strong signal.
Exactly. And the RPM president, Jeff Pepperdine, was quoted saying that value is being recognized by the people using it every single day. It suggests the strategy is resonating on the ground.
So Trig wrapped up his strategic overview there.
Pretty much. He mentioned they'd share more detail at an upcoming investor meeting on November 18th and then hand it off to the CFO. So that concludes the CEO's main strategic remarks.
Okay, so let's synthesize this for the learner. We've gone through the problem, the vision, the architecture, the pillars. What's the absolute core takeaway here?
I think the core bet AppFolio is making is that the old way, fragmented tools, reactive management is fundamentally broken. The future belongs to this integrated, AI-powered performance manager approach.
Right. It's defined by tackling that 66% of wasted time.
And using technology like agentic AI to give back maybe 10 hours of that time each week.
Okay. So that brings us to our final provocative thought for you, the listener. Building on that data.
We know property managers historically spent only about 16% of their time on strategic work.
So the question is, if these new AI systems, like the RealmX performers, actually succeed in automating tasks and consistently save those 10 hours per month, how do property managers need to fundamentally rethink and evolve what they do with that strategic 16%, now potentially much larger, to truly maximize that advantage?
The tech might give you the time back, but the real competitive edge will come from how you strategically use that time, right? What does performance management truly look like when AI handles the routine?
A huge question, and one that will likely define success in this space over the coming years. Food for thought. That's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.